Left it to the fans. It was a close poll between Devin Haney and Rollies. Obviously, Devin came out with the percentage on top. I decided to make it happen. Obviously, hanging out with Mayweather, he was like, yo, that ain't the right move. They need you. I said, but I already told the public. He's like, yeah, some things change. And I'm like, okay, let me think about it. He's like, you could win a title from Rollies and unify with Devin. It's a bigger fight. So, again, I should have just not let that influence me, but I did. Because it's Floyd Mayweather, and you look up to him as a fighter. You know, you watched him grow up. I watched him when I was growing up, so it was more of a thing. Like, okay, I'll listen to you, whatever, as long as we can make it happen. That didn't work. God had other plans, and it fell through. And then they used my name and swept it under the rug, and then said they're fighting. Yeah, these dudes are weird. But again, we're right back where we left off. We made the wrong or right. That's all you could do in life. You know, you do something wrong, you make it right. And that's what I did. Now I'm fighting Devin Haney.
Ryan,
now nobody's complaining.
Yeah, Ryan, we spoke.
But they was mad for about a week. Bro, relax. Let me work on it. Let me cook. Let him cook.
We spoke to
Ryan Garcia. Let him cook. He says and confirms that he spoke with Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather said a better strategy would be to face Mayweather Promotions fighter Rolly Romero. And he says Devin Haney and DAZN and whoever, you know, they need you, and you come back to the table. That's what I want to talk about. Now, my thing is this. I don't think Floyd said anything wrong. I don't think he said anything wrong at all. I know a lot of people are there mad at Mayweather, like Ryan Garcia said. Ryan Garcia said people were mad at me for about a week, but we made a wrong into a right. And the reason why I said I don't think that Floyd said anything wrong is because, like I said in my previous video, what he said and what he stated actually makes more sense for Ryan Garcia. Majority of the people that were mad at that are Devin Haney fanatics that fully expect Devin Haney to win and convincingly beat Ryan Garcia. So that's why they were mad when that fight potentially fell out. But it does make sense for him to fight a champ. Like, this is the reality of it. And I don't beat around the bush. I speak my mind. Everything I say has merit. Everything I say has value and makes sense. The reality is, for Ryan Garcia, he's never been a champion, yo. Point blank, period. So his first fight, he's battling to become a champion against, you know, let's be real, a very hard champion to beat, right? Fair play to him. Fair play to him. But Rolly became a champion. Some people didn't like it. Those two have history. And that fight, if it was there for you, then it makes sense. Go after that champion. If you beat him, that story, that, like, Rolly has almost a similar backstory with Ryan Garcia because of that sparring, that infamous sparring that everybody knows about. You dig? So Devin Haney, I mean, he has deeper history for sure with Ryan because as amateurs, they had 6 fights and they split them 3 apiece. So this is the actual tiebreaker. So at the end of the day, similar stories, meaning they both like either sparred or fought before when it didn't matter, before it was under the professional lights. So, you know, it is what it is. I see a lot of people, they were angry about it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because guess what's next? Ryan and Devin. And I told you, I like Ryan and Devin fight as well. Devin's a champion. Devin is a harder out than Rolly for Ryan's style. I'm just being real with you. See, there's a lot of people that they get on the mic. They want to do what Boxing Ego do, but they can't do it like Boxing Ego. With a real Boxing Ego, please stand up. Let's be fully transparent and fully clear. Devin is a harder fight for Ryan stylistically because Devin has a killer jab. He has fundamentals and he can box. So for Ryan, who's never been a champion and is 1 fight removed from losing to Gervonta Davis, yeah, the Rolly fight probably makes more sense in the trajectory of building, because Ryan, he's taking a big gamble. He's not going to be the favorite versus Devin. Stylistically, Devin, is going to be the favorite on paper, and he's going to have to bank on a great game plan with Derrick James, his left hook, his power, and that kind of thing, versus Devin Haney. Versus a Rolly fight, I don't think it would be as technical. Like when we're talking about styles make fights, I feel like Rolly and Ryan, if they were to have fought, it would kind of be like who lands first, who boxes a little bit more, and it would just be kind of an in-your-face explosion. This has the ability to be a fight almost similar to Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz, where Devin Haney, and I'm not saying he's going to run as much as, because I know people are saying Jermaine Ortiz ran. I didn't have a problem with the Jermaine Ortiz approach. I thought he had Teofimo looking foolish, but that's an example of styles make fights. Jermaine Ortiz he should have jabbed more, but he did use a jab. He used his frame and he used his length to keep Teofimo guessing at bay and constantly having to reset. That's kind of what I can picture for this fight with Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney knows Ryan Garcia well. They've fought 6 times, so they definitely know each other. And if anything, Devin Haney, since he's been a champion, since Devin Haney has been undisputed and fought Lomachenko, I would say he's probably progressed more than when he was an amateur, as opposed to Ryan Garcia, because Ryan has never even been a champion. So it's a very, very, this is funny. It's a very, very good fight, very dangerous fight. And I'm not saying this because the reality is, whatever Mayweather said, Ryan went with it. He told you why he went with it, said people were mad. It doesn't even matter now. Rolly's fighting Pitbull Cruz. I like that fight. That's a in-your-face action fight. And now it's official. Ryan is fighting Devin Haney. So it all worked out. And the other point I want to make is boxing fans can be impatient idiots. You idiots. Where they want to be so involved, they just won't let stuff play out. Right? They won't let stuff play out. Like Ryan, oh, he's going to fight Rolly. Oh, he wants to fight Pitbull. Oh, he left Devin Haney. And then in the end, like he said, he made a wrong or right. Rolly announced he went in a different direction, so he went back to the drawing board with Devin Haney, and they got it done. So fair play to both of them, Devin Haney, and fair play to Ryan Garcia. This altercation is funny. I got to stop looking at it. It's too funny. Subscribe to the channel for all your boxing news. Boxing news 24/7 right here on Boxing Ego. So, shout out to these young brothers for making a fight. The reality is, I think everything played out how it was supposed to. Ryan Garcia, people were, like he said, people were mad at him for a cool minute because they thought he was leaving Devin Haney. But now you have to give Ryan Garcia his props. See, the difference between me and them, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of people who want to cover boxing and do YouTube videos and stuff. Now, I don't give you a one-way street. I give you something to think about and objective boxing conversations. Everybody faulted and jumped the gun and said, oh, Ryan's ducking Devin Haney. Oh, I knew it. I knew he was scared. And boom, boom, whoom, whoom, wompty. But those same people are not making updated videos now that the fight is announced and confirmed and apologizing to Ryan Garcia. You see how that works? People were like, oh, Floyd Mayweather ruined this and whoom, whoom, wompty. Ryan, I knew he was going to bail out. Guess what? Here's the flyer. Ryan did what he initially said he was going to do. It took a week, an extra week, but we still got there. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to get boxing back in its rightful place, and fans need to be fans and just shut up and just watch these fights and enjoy these fights, pick a winner, things like that. But I've never been a fan of the public being so involved in the process, the negotiations. These things should not be public because this is what you get. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, Native Americans, you know what I mean? You got so many people, and that's what I hate. I loathe the internet because this is what it produces. It gives everybody a voice. Some, it gives anonymity, and they can just anonymously talk crazy online or whatever. But the thing is, everybody's opinion on every subject matter is not worthy. Like, I want to talk, like, if we're talking about psychology, I want to hear from a psychologist, a neuroscientist, or somebody who has some expertise, somebody who's been through some stuff. You know what I mean? But the thing with the internet is you got people who are weighing in on all types of situations and they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't done nothing. They haven't, you know, they have no data. It's just, what are we even listening to? Like I said, a lot of people jumped the gun and said, Ryan's ducking Devin Haney. I knew this. That man deserves props. And again, me being objective and fair, I've given criticism when it was warranted to Ryan Garcia. Namely, when he went through that phase where he was like the boy who cried wolf. He was pulling out of fights and said he had anxiety and said belts don't matter. I talked about all of these things. And I put a lot of that on Ryan Garcia because at the time, that's what he was saying. He was like, belts don't matter. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he don't want to be a champion. But we have seen a bit of maturity from Ryan Garcia. Now he's talking like he has some sense. You know, he's talking about, I want to fight Devin Haney. I want to become a champion. You know, he's pulling up on Devin Haney, giving you the entertainment value. He tested himself with Tank. I mean, for real, Ryan Garcia deserves a lot of credit because Ryan Garcia, out of that whole 4 horsemen picture that came out, he's already fought Gervonta Davis undefeated. Definitely a difficult style for his. That's why I picked Gervonta Davis ahead of time to beat Ryan Garcia. And then now he's picking another undefeated Black American fighter, right? That is dangerous for his style, which is Devin Haney, a great boxer who has gained a ton of experience in his last several fights, namely for me, the Lomachenko fight and the Prograis fight. And, you know, he's still willing to test himself. I give him props for that because on the contrary, you look at like Canelo Alvarez and look at who in different years could have been Canelo Alvarez's Devin Haney. Not saying these guys fight like Devin Haney, but I'm talking about like a Black American style that should disrupt or give Canelo problems. At 154, he could have fought Jermell Charlo at 54, not when Jermell Charlo was 54 and he'd been fighting at 68 and 75. He could have fought Jermall Charlo. He could have fought against Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, but he left that to Benavidez. And then, of course, now Benavidez is the it guy that people want to see Canelo test himself with, and we're hearing all these other names. Ryan Garcia, at a very young age, he's looking like he's about that life because he went in with Gervonta. Gervonta was the favorite. He's going in with another Black American fighter that will be the favorite, and he's literally one fight removed from the Gervonta Davis loss. And this is only his second fight in a new division. So he must be real confident or whatever. So Ryan Garcia is kind of changing the game in terms of how losses are viewed. There's a lot of people who, maybe the promoters, they don't want these losses to occur. And like, look at Teofimo. He really should have lost on Thursday. But, you know, the politics got in the way. But Ryan Garcia is doing a great job of proving if you have the ability to sell and a fun style and you're willing to test yourself, you could still bounce back pretty soon. And then, you know, this is really kind of a redemption. And I'm not saying he beats Devin Haney, but this is kind of a redemption arc for Ryan Garcia by challenging himself with the Devin Haney, which again, Devin Haney gives anybody problems in and around that weight class, right? By challenging himself, then he has a chance to redeem himself, because it's not beating Gervonta Davis, but if you could do well and or beat Devin Haney, all will kind of be forgiven losing to Gervonta Davis. So I like it, and I think more fighters should do that. They shouldn't be so bent out of shape and then take 4 years to get back on track and then take another fight that people want to see. Ryan Garcia, he's jumping back into the fray, arguably, possibly like too soon. You know what I mean? Some people would say, like I said, I could understand if he wanted to fight against Rolly. That would have made sense. But again, I like the Haney Garcia fight. It's a big fight. People are looking forward to it. And, props to Ryan Garcia he really must have a chip on his shoulder or something. And he wants to prove people wrong, all the people who doubted him. So all the people panicking and prematurely gave Ryan Garcia a lot of drama. Oh, he's the one, him and Floyd, it was the run. None of that stuff mattered. You see what I'm saying? This is the point I'm making. You have a lot of YouTubers and Facebook pages and Instagram, and they focus on the negative. Oh, Floyd went jogging with Ryan Garcia and changed his mind, and Rolly and all this type of stuff. But then when Ryan double backs and the Rolly fight doesn't pan out, and he makes sure, because I don't think Golden Boy wanted this fight. Let's be real. I don't think they wanted this fight. But Ryan double backed to make sure that the Devin Haney fight was secured and the bag was secured. I don't hear people giving Ryan the praise, but they'll give Ryan the negativity and the negative news when it looked like the Devin Haney fight and the Devin Haney train was no longer departing. So I give props to Devin Haney, but I also give a lot of props to Ryan Garcia, because he is taking a dangerous fight. He could have just been like, all right, whatever. The Rolly fight fell apart. I'm going to fight some scrub on Golden Boy. But he truly is challenging himself. So I'm a real man, and I respect man-tings. So props to him for that. Should be a good fight. Follow my channel for more coverage. Haney versus Garcia. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe.